Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's quarter to 10, December 16th, 2022, and another absolutely dreary day with light rain that lingered into the afternoon, and then we're still dealing with drizzle right now. So you can see this storm is like barely, it almost looks like it's stalled out now. It's barely moving off to the east. This coastal storm here you see here, so very slow moving movement on this coastal storm. You can still see some lingering light rain even across our area into Suffolk County. So still lingering. Absolutely ridiculous. Another look at another radar look here. You can see it's lingering. The drizzle's just lingering around. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let's get started with the rainfall reports first for the storm here. So we'll first get started looking at that, and you will see here that we have rainfall reports generally 1.5 inches in a lot of areas in New Jersey, Connecticut. We'll just scroll through this briefly. You can see 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches around Brooklyn, Nassau County, around 1.25 to 1.5 inches. Manhattan, 1.5 inches. So everybody pretty much got a very uniform amount here. Generally that 1.25 to 1.5 inch range here. That was as of 4:57. However, that is not going to be. There's going to be more rain that's going to be falling on top of that. Wind gust reports as well. We had some pretty strong winds out there in certain areas along the coast. Blue Point 53, Eaton's Neck 57, Orient 51 miles an hour. Connecticut, east southeast of Newark, 56 miles an hour. Larchmont Harbor had a gust up to 58 miles an hour. This all happened in the overnight hours. Atlantic Beach, 51 miles an hour. So we had some pretty strong winds as a result, too, of this storm. There was some coastal flooding in the low-lying areas as well. Snowfall, that's going to mainly be upstate. So just Orange County there. Port Jervis reporting 7.8 inches. But other than that, just pretty miserable weather out there. Looking at our current conditions right now, you can see the winter storm warnings that are all up for interior parts of the Northeast. Let's go look at our current observations here, and you will see that we do have north to northwest winds, but we're still dealing with that drizzle, and it's really nasty out there. So looking at Islip right now, still actually reporting light rain at Islip, still lingering, and with that drizzle and that rain at 39 degrees, the cold rain is really pretty miserable out there and pretty hard to deal with, and this is pretty much what we were dealing with all day here at Islip. You could see. So did get into the mid 40s earlier on. I guess we did get a little higher there, but still mist, light rain. You can see looking at some of these winds here, pretty gusty. I think the worst of the winds was in the early morning hours. I think probably mostly along the coast. I don't think the winds were too bad inland. It was mostly along the coast that the winds were pretty strong. So we'll look at our highs and we'll look at our. I mean, we don't need to look at highs and lows because again, the temperatures have been all over the place. I guess we can do that. I guess if you want. But first, before I do that, let me look at the rainfall. So we'll look at precipitation and we'll go to the last 36 hours of precipitation here, and you can see here, pretty much 36 hours is about right. Maybe we'll make it 48 hours. Just to make sure. You can see it actually looks like they got more in New Jersey, Ocean County. They got over, oh my gosh, wow, 2.71 inches, 2.40. So they really got a soaker there in New Jersey there, over 2 inches. And their lakes are already overfilled as it is, so their lakes are going to get even higher after that. So you can see that, and then as you go further north, it lowers a little bit to that 1.5 to 1.25 inch amount. That we were pretty much expecting to cross Long Island today. So generally, that's pretty much what we got. Though New Jersey certainly got a lot more. They got into the heavier stuff, I guess, and that's why I guess there is a coastal flood advisory in effect for that area. That's quite a bit of rain right there, 2.71. That is quite a bit of rain. A lot of rain for sure. And I'm actually I want to see what the rivers and lakes are like over there too. So let's go look at our highs and lows. So go to our highs and lows. So high temperatures, well, we won't bother with the lows. We'll just look at the highs. Because I feel like New Jersey got a little more into that warm sector. They did. So I see some 50s over there. So they got into the low 50s along the Jersey Shore area. Everybody else pretty much in the mid 40s. So let's go take a look at those rivers and lakes. Let's go to that parameter next here. Rivers and lakes. Let's see if we have any flooding going on. Probably not, but it's still quite a bit of rain. Um, so waiting for them to. Not really, but the tidal ones are above. They're above. They're above. Yep. So we are seeing elevated tide, and that's causing some coastal flooding. And there's been some pictures of it online, low-lying areas along the coast, here on Long Island on the South Shore, as well as along the Jersey Shore, low-lying areas, dealing with some flooding. So, yeah, that's... There's Barnegat Bay as well, dealing with some flooding there as well. So, yeah, they are definitely dealing with some flooding. 4 gauges in flood right now. So, there's also one here that's also reporting flooding conditions here. That's the Millstone River. So, yeah, it's quite a bit of rain. Like I said, they've had quite a bit of rain, so their water levels are very high in New Jersey. So, yeah, let's go now to the models and get rid of this low here. So there's your low. It's going to slowly move on out of here, slowly moving off to the northeast, and you'll see plenty of snow in interior New England, and actually even along the coast when you get up toward Maine. And then that moves out, but we'll have dry weather in its wake, and we'll have dry weather most of the week, next week. Our next storm system is one that's in the distance, but still one that we have to watch out for right now. It seems like it's tracking more to the west, but this is a very deep storm that we would have to deal with. Believe it or not, the Christmas Eve, perhaps, or a little around that time frame, either the day before Christmas Eve, another deep storm. Could be a rainmaker, could be a snowmaker, depending on where this thing tracks. But we would have to, this is a ways off. I'm not going to get fixated on it right now, and I think we'll have maybe somewhat better idea when I do my weather update on Sunday night. Right now, I'm really just focused on this weekend here. So let's go take a look at the HRRR model, which should move that rain on out of here. 0Z HRRR, obviously. That rain will be moving on out of here eventually. Like I said, after midnight, it should eventually stop. It's very slow moving low, as you see there. And there it goes, moving up the, you can see, and then it kind of just, it's a very slow moving. Here we are tomorrow, and it's still tomorrow night at this time, it's still in the Gulf of Maine. So this could bring some instability, cloudiness, and the HRRR is even thinking of maybe we might even have a scattered instability rain or snow shower tomorrow in the evening hours. And for Sunday, less of that. We'll have less of that instability, but there'll still be lake effect going, and that may keep some clouds around for us. All right. Looking at the dew points, you'll see those very strong westerly winds we'll have. So very windy tomorrow, westerly winds, breezy conditions, blustery. You can see the drier. These are the dew points. The air is not that dry. That may be why we might see some more clouds. Somewhat drier air works in on Sunday, perhaps. Let's go look at the highs. So you'll see the temperatures. Temperatures will generally stay in the 30s overnight and tomorrow. Probably low 40s, that's all it's going to be. Tomorrow night, the winds will stay up, so I don't think we'll see that radiational cooling, along with some clouds around. Probably lows, probably around 30 degrees. And then for Sunday, a little bit colder, highs in the upper 30s. So that's what it looks like on that. And if we want to go even further along here, which we will do with the GFS here, looking at the temperatures, you'll see temperatures generally stay kind of on the cold side. So we are seasonably cold Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday. But then look what happens. You get this really cold air that comes in Wednesday night to Thursday. And this is why we've got to watch with this storm, because there's going to be a lot of cold air in place. You can see that cold air in place on Thursday. High temperatures may not make it past the low to mid-30s. And that's why this storm is going to, it could just fling up enough warm air. We'll have to see. Behind it, there'll be some more cold air, and I mean really cold air. So you'll see we're going to definitely get into some more of that frigid stuff, especially as we head into the day after Christmas week. Look at that. Pretty frigid air behind this storm system right here. So let's look at the skies. You say it's a ways out with that storm, so I can't really predict it. GFS is kind of optimistic for tomorrow, giving us mostly clear skies. For Sunday, maybe more clouds, and then Monday we should have some sunshine, but then we may have to worry about more clouds again during the week. But I have to see. Again, this is a low resolution sky model. So let's look at the higher resolution sky model, the RGM, and you'll see here. Here's that slow moving storm system. You could see it does seem to have mostly sunny skies, but maybe underestimating some of the clouds. You might look at some of the other models, which you'll see in a minute. So this is the Sunday. Looks like we'd have more in the way of clouds. Looks like it's showing more clouds, and it's just because of the moisture in the air. And then Monday we have to watch out for that too, again, because you got that lake effect. It's always an issue that it's hard to predict exactly what's going to happen. There's the FV3 as well, but again, this is all I've got, a 0Z run, and I don't really want to use an old 12Z run. Saturday on the NAM, you can see it shows some clouds, but it looks like more sun on Saturday than Sunday. Sunday it has thicker clouds developing. So that's what it looks like for the weekend. Let's go to the Ventu Sky site here. And move this over to the clouds for tomorrow. See 9 a.m. Looks pretty sunny. It's 11. Still fairly sunny. Actually, it still looks like we'd have mostly sunny conditions on Long Island for a good part of the day. So it definitely looks better because Sunday definitely looks like we'd have a lot more clouds. This is Sunday, by the way. So tomorrow looks like the sunnier day. Between the both days, it looks like you'll have more sunshine tomorrow. Sunday, you're going to have more clouds. So that's what it looks like for this weekend. And again, if you want to get into next week, there's a lot of variables. Let me go back to the GFS here. There's a lot of variables that are taking place for next week. So you can see that kind of troughiness over the east there. And we're going to stick with that. And that's why temperature is going to be colder than normal. But there's that storm again. That's what we've got to watch out for, is that storm. And that right now, it brings another soaker for us the day before Christmas Eve. So 2 days before Christmas, a real soaker, another soaker again. This again changes because, again, if we go and we look at an earlier run, there's the 12Z. See, the positioning was further east. If we go look at last night's run at 0Z, it was even further east. So the positioning is changing because, again, there's a lot of variables going on in the atmosphere that the models have to take into consideration. We can also look at the European model, which is not going to go that far out. We don't think we have a European model that's going to take us that far out. Let me go back to the European here. European. I can get an earlier European run. I think the earlier one goes further. So this is the European run, the earlier run. And you can see it's not a coastal there. It goes well to the west. So right now, it's too early to tell what's going to happen with that storm. I know some of us would like to see some snow around here, but given the pattern that we're in, don't be surprised if it's yet another soaker. But at least we'll have, a good dry period where we won't have to deal with any rain for this week until we get toward that Thursday into Friday time frame. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Thank you for watching and have a good night.